Hey 4B, thanks for joining. So this is different than what we've been doing, but from here on, this is how I'm going to be teaching the majority of my lessons using a flipped classroom approach. So what that means is I'm going to be posting the video ahead of time. You're going to watch the lesson, you're going to do some independent practice, and then when we have the Google Meet, you're going to come to the Google Meet with any questions you have, and we're going to spend time reviewing the problems, and then we're going to do some extension activities as well. The I can statement, or the goal for this lesson, is I can subtract fractions using models. I put that in bold for a reason. That's really the emphasis of this lesson, is going to be using the models. When you go to the independent practice, it's going to be really tempting for you to just blitz it and do it as fast as you can. But it's really important that the takeaway from this lesson be for you to use the models. All right, so we're going to jump right in. You can subtract fractions with like denominators using fraction strips. The key word here is like. So you have like denominators when the denominators are the same. So 5/8 and 2/8 have exactly the same denominator, 8. That means that they have like denominators. And that's when we can use these fraction strips over here on the right. All right, so step 1, it says shade the eighths you start with, shade 5/8. Really, step 1 for you is going to be drawing these boxes. So you're going to draw this top box first, and you're going to put a 1 in it because this represents one whole. Then you're going to draw a box underneath, and you're going to split that box into into 8 equal pieces by drawing 7 lines. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eighths. But I'm only shading 5/8 because I started, remember, with 5/8. So I'm shading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. All right, step 2, subtract 2/8. This thing says how many eighths are taken away. Cross out 2 of the shaded eighths. So remember, when we're doing subtraction, we're taking away. So we're going to cross out 2 of these shaded eighths. Step 3, count the shaded eighths that remain. There are 3 eighths remaining. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Confused. Oh, that's right. These 3 over here are not part of the initial problem. Remember, we only started with 5/8. We didn't start with 8/8. So these 3 right here are not part of this problem. Only what we had shaded, these 5/8. These were the initial problem, right? And then we crossed off 2 of the eighths, and now we're left with 1, 2, 3. 3/8. Step 4, write the number of eighths that remain as a fraction. So 3/8 equals 3/8, or 3/8. And then they show you the whole problem there. 5/8 minus 2/8 equals 3/8. All right, let's jump into some more practice problems. We're going to practice some example problems. So for number 1, we're going to model 3/3 minus 2/3. So just like in our first examples, we're going to draw our whole. And then I'm going to draw the other box underneath. And I'm going to split this up into 3 equal parts. And just like before, I'm going to shade in what I have. And I have 3/3. So I'm going to shade in 3 1/3, which is the whole thing. Now it's asking me to subtract or take away 2 of those thirds. So now I'm going to take away 1, 2. So now the question is, what am I left with? And I'm left with 1/3. So the answer, 3/3 minus 2/3 equals 1/3. Just like that. Let's go on to number 2. Alright, so we have 5/6 minus 1/6. So I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to draw my box. I'm making this one a little bigger because I know I'm splitting into 6 pieces. Drawing my box underneath. Now remember, if you're splitting it into 6 pieces, you need to draw 5 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6. Alright, now I'm going to shade what I have, just like before, but this time we'll do it in a cool blue. I have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6, right? Now they're asking me to take away just 1/6. So I'm not crossing that one off. I didn't have that to begin with. Remember, I only had 5/6. So I'm crossing off the 1 from the 5 that I had originally. And now I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 1/6 pieces. So that equals 4/6. Now you're not done because 4/6 can be simplified. Both the numerator and the denominator can be divided by 2. So if we do that, we are going to get 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And there's your simplified answer. We'll even double circle it. Good. 2/3. Let's do one more together. Alright, 6/10 minus 3/10. So I'm going to draw my box. Because remember, we're practicing using models. It's important to have more than one way to solve something. And at the end of the day, a model is a really good method when you feel like you can't solve something, to just go back to the fundamentals of using a model. So I'm going to have to draw 9 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I split it into 10 parts. So 1/10, 1/10, 1/10. Alright, so now they're asking me to shade. What color should I use? Okay, that's fine. We can use that one. We're going to shade it 6/10. So we have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. Oh no. 4/10, a little glitch in the system. 5/10, 6/10. Alright, now we are taking away 3 of those tenths. Take away 1, 2, 3. And we're going to be left with 1, 2, 3. 3/10. So 6/10 minus 3/10 equals 3/10. Can this be simplified? No. 3/10. So this is how to subtract fractions using models. So you probably can do this without the models, but it's important to learn how to do the model, so that way if you ever get stuck in a situation where you can't remember how to do it, having another strategy, especially a strategy as concrete as using models, is going to really come in handy. So it's worth practicing. So on the next few problems on the Google form, I want you to, you're going to obviously have to input your answers digitally, but on a scrap piece of paper, I want you to draw the models. You may not have cool colors like me because I have the surface, but do some kind of shading with your pencil or a crayon and cross them out the same way, because it's really good to get into the routine of it. You don't have to submit that scrap paper, just put your answers in the Google form.